and seal them up, have your meal in a bag. The Boy Scouts have been doing it for years, nothing new. Scotch Brite pads, don't leave home without them, but you know what? Occasionally you do. So if you brought the onions, just use your onion bag to help clean up the pots. If that doesn't work, or you forgot the onions, oh come on, I'll do that one. This makes an excellent scrubbing pad, believe me. Excellent scrubbing pad. Boil your pot a little bit, loosen it up, just start scrubbing. It's not hard enough to hurt the seasoning, and it makes an excellent backup scrubbing pad. Oh, I try to use wood utensils. I had a buddy came in and brought me a little slab of wood. He has a sawmill. He brought me this little bitty slab of wood, and he said, I bet you can figure out something to do with this. I went home and traced my utensils and made them. Bachelor spoon, scraper. And they work real well. They make a hard plastic as well. And you can get these at your favorite store. Goodwill. And the last, this one's kind of unique. It's a butcher string. A lot of people look at me and they tell me to go fly a kite, so I always have it. But it'll work nice for a small piece of roast that's fairly thin. You don't want to wind up with a shoe sole. Roll it. Fill it with stovetop stuffing. Maybe a little bit of some type of soup or gravy in it. Don't worry about the instructions. Just fold in something liquid into that and fold your meat around it. Tie it up in a little package. Lay it in the bottom and you've got a nice meal in about 45 minutes. So that's all my tool chest. So don't get a hernia, stay on the short side for a while until you decide that you like it and have a good time. We're moving on to temperature. Temperature. How do I know that I've got 350 degrees in this pot? Well, it's not real difficult. It is. Where's my black one? I see my black one. Diameter of your pot times 2. A 10-inch, you need 20 coals. A 12-inch, you're going to need 24. And for a 14, you're going to need 28. So luckily, these are all divisible by 4, and I'll show you why that's lucky here in a moment. Can anybody tell me what this is? Wrong on 2 parts. It's Kingsford charcoal. Now, I will tell you a quick story. My buddy found some Pioneer brand that was cheaper. He said, it was great. Well, he did a dump cake and it took him 4.5 hours to cook it. When he got done, he had 12 pounds of ash and about 10 of it was white sand. So you can buy a nice little bag that's real nice and heavy, and you can get it for $3 a pound, but you can put it in your kitty litter box later, because it's sand. So now we know how they're stretching. But Kingsford, I use Kingsford, I'm just that way. Royal Oak is not bad, but anything else, I don't even look at. But what I was going to say, this is 25 degrees. This is your up-down button on your oven.
So
25 degrees.
Each coal is 25?
No, this is 25 degrees. That's 12 and a half, and that's 12 and a half.
Gotcha.
They're anywhere between 12 and 15, actually, is what they figured out. So this is how you can raise it up or down for maybe a pizza. You want to go to 400. He'd throw you enough to get you up to 400. Cold, windy days, you're going to need a little more heat. You may have to put a couple pair top and bottom, or a pair top and bottom. Here, I've lost myself. I moved way ahead and I was better prepared than I thought I was. I don't need these notes, just thought I did. Yeah, this is 350 degrees for most part. Everybody seems to agree on this. Then they go to, well, take 2 off the bottom and put them on the top, take 3 off the bottom and put them on the top, and then you do the hokey pokey. It gets, everybody's got a different technique, and I found one that works for me, and I like it. And We're going to explain that in technique. So we're going to take our 350-degree oven, and there's 4 things you can do with it. Well, there's about 8, but we're not going into all that. We're not going to try to do any steaming today. Baking, roasting, stewing or simmering, and you can fry and you can deep fry in it if you wish. You just got to put a whole lot of coals in it. In order to do this, it requires placing the coals in different positions. When you cook a cake at home, it says put in the upper part of the oven. The reason is the fire's down here, and they want that heat to rise up around the cake and actually radiate off the top of your home oven into that cake. When you do a roast, it says put it in the middle of your oven in the center rack. That's so you can have it cooked on all sides evenly. You not burn on the bottom and raw on top. So we're going to do the same thing with this by following a few simple guidelines. The baking, you're putting 3 times as much on top as you are on the bottom. So like I said, good thing these are divisible by 4. So for a 10-inch oven, we're going to put 5 on the bottom and 15 on top to bake. For a 12, we're going to do 6 and 18. That's the math. Divide it by 4 and put 3/4 of it on top. Roasting, we're going to put it in the center of the oven. We're going to make it even. We're going to put on a 12-inch, 12 on the bottom, 12 on top. Stewing and simmering, you've generally got a lot of liquid. It's not going to burn. You can put most of the heat on the bottom. Let's go 18 and 6. So you reversed your baking. When you're going to simmering, you now have more heat on the bottom than on the top and letting it rise through. You can put all the heat on the bottom and just actually boil it, but by having the heat on the lid, it helps to warm that pot completely through and traps that heat between them. Frying and boiling, it's obvious. Same thing you do on your stove. Turn the burner all the way up, put everything on the bottom, and start frying or broiling. So that's the real simple method. That's why you're having a problem when you bake. Every time you bake, you cut off about that much of the bread or the cake. That's the reason. It looks funny. You got 6 little bitty charcoal briquettes, and you go, ain't gonna work. Lay your hand on it. We'll change your mind. Oh no, we ran out of crib sheets. Now I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, maybe. No. That's it. Okay. So that was technique. Treatment. How are we going to take care of this little thing now that we've got it? If it's new, go ahead and use soap and water, clean it up. It's got a wax coating. It'll survive it, no problem. I don't use soap after that point. I generally throw it on a rolling boil on top of the campfire or my cooktop and let it come to almost a full boil, and then scrub it with whatever I have handy. And get the residual out, rinse it real good, put it back on the fire and let it dry itself completely. Don't try to store it wet. Get all that moisture out of the pores, and then go ahead and oil it down, put it away. Okay, for storage. Occasionally, when you store it, long term especially, make sure it's oiled so you don't have any problem with the rust problem with it. I have several chair lids. This little spider skillet I got, and I love it to death. It is the best little skillet in the world, but at the same time, it's my miniature Dutch oven, and I cook a lot of things that need to heat up close, like pizzas. You get to that cabinet in the spring, you go, I'm going to go camping, and you generally find a lot of dead bugs or bug parts or God knows what might be in there, so you spend a little time de-dusting it and go ahead and just clean it up like a new one. And then there are times, I live in the country, and I have a few uninvited guests every once in a while, and occasionally I'll find a little something like this. And I go, how in the devil did that happen? I don't keep the chocolate sprinkles in there. My Am I done? I'm not done yet. Can I go home?
Wow.
Oh, I got a little tidbit. This one here is about 80 years older than me, and I'd be brokenhearted if I lost it. So I went to Walmart, and for $4 you can make these little tags with your name and phone number. If you come to a gathering like this, a lot of people know of you or know you. It's great because you'll get it back eventually. But it's nice to have them ID'd. You'll find out tonight when you go to the potluck and you see 823 black pots all lined up in here. It's scary. It's like 5 tables covered. Don'ts. The don'ts on cast iron. Don't overheat it bone dry. You'll crack it. If you do overheat it, don't throw cold water in it. You will crack it. It's not a bow anchor. You can't bang it around. You're going to have to be careful with it. It's not fragile. It's not to that point. But you can break them if you mistreat them enough. So, how are we doing for time? How are we doing for time? Anybody got?
25 after.
25 after. I got 5 whole minutes. Oh my God. Okay. When you, I did miss that. The coach is helping out. When you're using parchment paper, everybody looks at me like I'm nuts. Spray the pot first. Then put the liner in, then spray the liner. You've got paper you don't want baked to the side of the pot. You've got cake, whatever in here, bread, you don't want sticking to the paper, you got to peel it off, or better yet, not find it all. So, it seems redundant, but there's a reason for it. You don't tear the liner when you're trying to pull it out with something real pretty, and you don't have it stuck in your food. So, that is one little point that I missed. I'm running short on time.
It was supposed to be an hour long. So
It is 30 minutes with 30-minute question and answer. You don't know how many questions people have.
Okay.
We could be here till about 3 p.m. We might miss one.
Yeah.
Now, I think I covered pretty well. So, I had a volunteer yesterday. Did she make it?
Reel it back. Trying to hide it.
I know you were. I know you were. She says she's a rookie. So we're going to break her in tonight. Get over there. It's your night, girl. Would you like to tell them who you are?
Oh, I'm Christine.
Hi, Christine.
Hello, Christine. Having never made a Dutch oven, dump cake, anything, we got a pretty well rookie. You know what to do with that?
Spray the pan.
Spray the pan. Were you paying attention at all? Where's your note?
Nope. Just spray it like that.
Yep, spray like you're spraying a house. Get it covered good. We're doing the 15 tonight. I'm giving you a 4-minute bonus because I'm running short. So, reach around behind you. No, that's fine. Reach around behind you and grab that liner out of that one. No. If you were paying attention, what do you do with that?
I put it in there and then I spray it.
There you go. We're paying attention. Yeah.
A plus.
I told you you could do good. Doesn't have to do like push down.
No, you're fine.
Like that.
You're fine.
Bob, what's the spray?
Now, it's just a vegetable spray they can. They make it in several different butter flavored. Get their regular.